KVAQ-TV is sponsored in part by Information Technology at UTRGV, which will host IT Tech Days from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. October 3rd in the Edinburg Ballroom and October 20th in the Harlingen Auditorium. The event welcomes students to learn about the technology available at UTRGV and get free advice on personal devices. Meet with technology experts from the IT departments and learn how to kickstart your career in the technology industry as a student. Come and attend for a chance to win prize drawings and enjoy free food and drinks.
Coming up, the Edinburg City Council voted to reduce property taxes. Details ahead. Plus, the City of Brownsville passed the Fair Practice Ordinance. More information in minutes. And an update on McAllen's comprehensive plan. KVAQ-TV starts now. Hey there, vaqueros! Welcome back to this semester's 5th edition of KVAQ-TV. I'm Alba Cantu, and at the top of the hour, for the first time since 1996, the Edinburg City Council has voted to reduce property taxes. Team, by how much are they being reduced?
Alba, the current tax rate for the City of Edinburg is 68 cents per $100, but beginning October 1st, the tax rate will be reduced to 64 cents.
Mayor, I approve to move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate.
All those in favor of the motion signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
The decrease comes after residents voiced concerns about the financial hardships caused by the pandemic and rising costs due to inflation. City of Edinburg Mayor Pro Tem Johnny Garcia says the council began to find a way to help citizens spend less.
During the pandemic, it allowed us to help look at things that we needed to do, that we can save the people some money, and also work with the businesses. We did give out a lot of money to a lot of the businesses that were hurting during the pandemic. And like I said, it's just to give back money to the community, during the time that we've been facing with the pandemic.
Garcia adds that this was not an overnight decision, and a lot of thought went into making sure services would not be affected with this decrease.
We started a little bit of the process since last year, December, January, trying to figure out how we could do it to lower the taxes. Again, the main thing is that we don't want to affect services, especially our safety, the police, fire department, and of course our utilities. But, we were able to figure out how we could lower our tax base without affecting those services, but at the same time where the families, the citizens can feel a little bit of relief.
After confirming with the financial department that this tax reduction would not have any negative effect on current services, Mayor of Edinburg, Ramiro Garza Jr., explains the development and the positive result that this will have.
We did an analysis and found that we could reduce it by 4 cents, and it would not have any kind of adverse impact on our ability to service our community. We would have kept the same tax rate at 68 cents. Because of the increase in valuations, people would have had to have paid more in taxes. But based on this action, people are going to pay a little bit less.
Garza adds that during his campaign running for mayor, reducing taxes was never the selling point to get people to vote for him, but it was always a topic of discussion that he was focused on dealing with.
What I would tell people, because when they would ask me, are you going to reduce taxes? I would tell them it's something that I'm going to look at, because I hadn't looked at the city's overall financial condition, to be fair, right? And so I said, but if we're able to do it, I support reducing. How much, it just depends on the financial condition of the city. So when I came in as mayor, right away I started looking at all their financial numbers and found that we can give something up, especially based on this increase in growth.
Mayor Garza hopes to continue to reduce taxes. He says his goal is to drop property taxes by 10 cents. Reporting for KVAQ-TV in Edinburg, I'm Tim Chapman.
Thank you, Tim. This is his last report for KVAQ-TV. Tim, we wish you the best. The City of Brownsville voted to pass the Fair Practice Ordinance. Our reporter Xavier Aguilar with more on what this means.
Alba, Brownsville is one of the first cities in the Rio Grande Valley to pass an ordinance which gives the LGBTQ+ community protections regarding employment, housing, and public accommodation.
No? Okay. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. All against? Motion passes.
The formation of the Fair Practice Ordinance was a 3-year-long process with help from the American Civil Liberties Union of Texas, Lambda Legal, and Equality Texas. Chairman of the LGBTQ+ Task Force, Brian Martinez, says Texas lacks protection for the LGBTQ+ community.
The state of Texas currently has no protections in place for individuals who express themselves other than the norm, the genders that are given to us by the government. And so this would be the fifth city in the state of Texas to pass a non-discrimination ordinance.
Martinez recounts an incident where an individual was misgendered at a restaurant.
When law enforcement came and got involved, the officers responded with a similar answer, which was there is currently no laws in place for us to be able to enforce protections on discrimination such as these. And so that was a big trigger for the city of Brownsville officials and the community at large.
Martinez adds that the Fair Practice Ordinance allows individuals to express themselves in the city of Brownsville. Brownsville City Commissioner Roy De Los Santos explained his involvement in creating the ordinance.
I am very, very proud of the ordinance. The ordinance is something that I had my hands on and started working with the team on back in 2020 when I was first appointed to the LGBTQ task force. It was something we were very passionate about.
De Los Santos also reminds the community that the ordinance does not give the LGBTQ community special privilege.
There's no new rights, there's no special rights. It's about equal protection for everyone. The only difference would be is if you were actively discriminating against a class of people before, now there are repercussions for it.
The task force is currently working to lower the Municipal Equality Index score, which examines how inclusive laws, policies, and services are for the LGBTQ+ people who live and work there. For KVAQ-TV in Brownsville, Xavier Aguilar.
The South Texas Health System Edinburg opened a new patient tower as an expansion of the facility. Our reporter Jessica Maya with the details.
Thank you, Alba. A $105 million investment was made at the South Texas Health System Edinburg to provide a better experience for patients. The new expansion includes 5 brand new floors with its own designated area. The first floor will offer a more comfortable experience and a brand new emergency room, including 2 new trauma bases, giving multiple people the opportunity to be at a trauma room. CEO of the South Texas Health System Edinburg, Lance Ames, says this project includes the first radiology center, with a 3T magnetic resonance imaging and a 604 slice CT scanner that shows results in about 3 seconds.
As fast as it's able to get it done, and with the high residency that it has, you can catch even between heartbeats. So you can get, if you're needing a scan for the heart, one very easy scan, and it's very detailed.
A new women's imaging center is now available and is expected to supply 3D monographies, ultrasounds, and bone density. Patients will be working with speech therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and others. This expansion will create over 100 new jobs. Hiring events will take place at the South Texas Health System Edinburg every Tuesday. For more information on employment opportunities, you can visit the South Texas Health System corporate offices. Reporting for KVAQ-TV in Edinburg, Jessica Maya. Back to you.
National Preparedness Month starts in September. UTRGV Emergency Management has trainings for different types of emergencies. Here's our reporter Felix Valderas with the story.
UTRGV is prepared for emergencies such as active shooters, bomb threats, fire emergencies, first aid, and various other things that can mean the difference between life and death. Preparations for emergencies can take time, and it's important to be prepared for anything at any time. Emergency Management Director for UTRGV speaks to KVAQ-TV about preparedness activities that anyone can participate in from home.
If you had just to evacuate, leave your home, leave your dorm, leave your apartment, and you didn't have time to act, you had like 5 minutes or less, what would you take with you? You could only fit it inside a pillowcase.
Gomez lists a few things to keep in mind when packing.
You'd probably want to take all your essential documentation. What would that look like? So medications, a couple of precious heirlooms that are not replaceable, but most importantly, the documentation, the vital things that you would need to survive: food, clothing, toiletries, things like that. And you pack light and be nimble.
Ready.gov recommends a few items to store in an airtight plastic bag, plastic bin, or a duffel bag, like cash, a whistle, matches in a waterproof container, and a map. Emergency Management Coordinator Pablo Mendez says time is key.
The earlier that you sit down and actually think about it, when you're not as stressed as actually going through it at the time, would greatly improve your chances of either bouncing back from it or being less impacted by it, and knowing what your actions would be. So I know you hear it all the time, but like plan ahead, but just simply think about it, but know that it's temporary.
For access to trainings and courses on how to prepare for emergencies, you can visit the UTRGV Emergency Management webpage. For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, this is Felix Balderas.
La ciudad de McAllen está en proceso de actualización para su plan comprensivo, un proyecto que tiene como objetivo mejorar la calidad de vida de sus residentes. Amada Valdovinos con más información.
Así es, Alba, se estima que el plan comprensivo podrá ayudar a más de 143,000 personas y será implementado otoño del 2023. La actualización del plan comprensivo ayudará a guiar las decisiones relacionadas con el transporte, infraestructura y desarrollo económico de la ciudad. Director de Planificación Edgar García explica algunas de las nuevas modificaciones que tratan con el problema de inundaciones en la ciudad de McAllen.
Se inunda, y esto es algo que en verdad nos queremos enfocar para asegurarnos que haya la infraestructura suficiente para agarrar el agua y poder hacer que salga de las zonas residenciales lo más pronto posible.
García menciona el por qué decidieron actualizar el plan.
Nosotros aquí en McAllen no hemos tenido un nuevo plan comprensivo desde el 2007. Por lo tanto, ya nos tocaba tener un cambio. Necesitamos escuchar las voces de los ciudadanos para poder hacer un plan mejor para ellos y trabajar mejor para ellos.
La ciudad de McAllen decidió crear una encuesta donde los residentes tendrán la oportunidad de expresar sus preocupaciones y seguir de cerca el progreso del plan. Residente de McAllen, Sandra de Luna, ha residido en la ciudad por más de 20 años y piensa que el plan podrá traer más oportunidades de trabajo para la comunidad. De Luna expresa algunas de las cosas que le gustaría ver en la ciudad.
De perdido una vez al mes tenga áreas como para ir con la familia, para que los niños se diviertan, algo sanamente para nuestros hijos y para la comunidad de McAllen.
Si usted tiene alguna duda sobre la actualización del plan comprensivo o le gustaría dar su opinión, puede comunicarse al 956-681-1250 o visitar la página macallen2040.com. Para KVAQ-TV en McAllen, Amada Valdovinos.
That's all for today. Make sure to watch us Monday through Friday on Vicas Monitors and on social media. You can also grab a copy of Pulse magazine at the stand locations on both campuses. For KVAQ-TV, I'm Alba Cantú. Stay safe, vaqueros.